Hey everybody, welcome back to Gone Outdoor Radio. You're listening to Kello News Talk or KWSN in the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, or the Mighty 790 in Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding community. Scotty Brewer, Kyle Agri, Brewer Agri Outdoors. And, normally we talk hunting, we talk fishing, and we talk everything outdoors. And this one will kind of fall into the latter of those three categories because we're going to chat with Jeff Benda. He is a wild game and fish chef, professional chef. He is a recipe creator. I'm not sure if he still does some outfitting work or not, but he has done a lot in the outdoors. But we're going to talk some wild game recipes with him. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be on with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the hunting season.
Yes, as are most of our listeners. And they're probably going to be very excited to listen to this segment here because it's that time of year. Many of us are trying to finish up some of the wild game that we have in our freezers from last year because we need to make room for some fresh harvest. And there might be some of our listeners that might already have some fresh harvest. They could have some fresh venison. They might have some geese. They might have, well, I think that's probably about it at this point. But, I mean, these seasons are opening and the dates are falling like dominoes. So, what are some good recipes for some geese if somebody went out and had a very good early season, goose season? What are something unique that they could do with it?
Yeah, I've got about my daughter went with us on August 15th when the season opened up here in North Dakota. We were out hitting it right away with some hunting buddies, and she joined us this time, and so we've already been eating the geese, making new recipes for everybody. There's about 20 recipes at wildgameandfish.com just for geese specifically. Probably the biggest favorite is the goose pastrami. That's probably the most popular recipe for geese that I have on the website. So if you're looking for a recipe for the goose breast, that's probably the most popular. That's the one that all the guys want me to make the goose breast into. And then, you can make it into Reuben sandwiches, kind of whatever. There's even an Irish egg rolls recipe that I have on there that using that goose pastrami that's on the website. And then I just really encourage everybody. Most people just breast the meat out and leave those legs and thighs, those leg quarters in the field. I have a lot of recipes for using those. It just takes a couple extra minutes. Take those off the bird, throw them in a crock pot, and there's a lot of great recipes for that. We just did a barbecued goose in the crock pot using some barbecue sauce that I had shipped up from the town where I was born in North Carolina. And Lucia was literally licking her plate. That's my daughter, literally licking the plate. And it was so good. There's all kinds of different fun things that you can do. We've got some Greek nachos. Regular nachos. There's a Cajun goose pot pie. There's with like flaky Pillsbury biscuit mix. It's a super easy one. All kinds of great recipes on there for geese, and so I really encourage everybody to check out the website because we do a lot of new goose recipes here.
I love that, Jeff, because let's be honest, we've all been to those wild game feeds, which usually are attached to a fundraiser, and it's a great cause, and we go with a really happy heart, but oftentimes it's 28 ways to do goose breast and gravy, and the variety that you're offering is just incredible, and I always love trying new recipes, new ways to prepare that game we get in the field. And my question is this, when we talk about the field, success on the table really starts out there, right? It starts with the care of the animal and how it's handled after the harvest. Now, this time of the year, I mean, we've got warm temperatures. What are some of the things that folks need to be careful of as they start these harvests and want to bring it home and feed it to their family?
I think probably the biggest thing that I always stress, I talked to a guy who was going out for his North Dakota elk once in a lifetime last year. And I was giving him some spots that I know that I've seen elk on, and he came over to the house and we were looking at OnX, and then I said, and don't forget the cooler of ice in the back of your truck. And he was like, I didn't even think about that. You know, like
Yep.
that's my biggest thing. Drive around with a cooler with a bag or two of ice in it. I've met way too many people who won't think twice about spending over $300 on the latest and greatest hunting jacket, but they refuse to stop and buy a $3 bag of ice on their way out of town. It's getting that meat cooled down and getting prepared to get it cooled down, whether it's a deer, an antelope, an elk, whatever that animal is that you're getting. Driving around for hours and hours or throw it in the back of the pickup and it's sitting out there, you're going to end up with a lot of ruined meat. Hunting should be about having fun, keeping our traditions alive, but first and foremost, it needs to be about the meat. And if we take care of their meat, then we're respecting the animal that gave its life so we could feed our family. That's my biggest tip.
I assume, Jeff, it's the same if we're talking about geese out in the field this time of the year. We want to get them cooled down as quickly as possible, too, as well, and not just for big game.
There can be like 80-degree days. You know, when we were sitting out on August 15th, August 16th, it got hot. And so there was some hay bales in the middle of the field, and I just ran over instead of the geese just laying there. I at least got them in some shade before, while we were piling them up, before I could get them back to the vehicle and get them cooled down. So, yeah, it's pretty important for meat care is that's my biggest thing is just driving, even duck hunting too, but or pheasant hunting. Just have a cooler, before temperatures get cooled down. Just have a cooler with some ice in it. You just need one bag of ice in there.
All right, Jeff. Our segment is going by very, very quickly. I have a personal question that Kyle and I are going on a salmon trip here in a few weeks. What's some of your favorite salmon recipes?
Yeah, there's two that I have on the website that I absolutely love. There's a that my wife absolutely fell in love with when I did them. There's a blackened salmon Caesar salad. So if you're a Caesar salad fan, that's a great one. The blackened seasoning is from a guy I met at a campground here in North Dakota. He's from West Monroe, Louisiana. People might know where that town is from, that town. But it's the best blackened fish seasoning I've ever come across. So there's that blackened salmon Caesar salad. And then I've got a Tuscan salmon recipe that calls for dandelion greens. But because we're not dandelion season, you could just substitute using spinach or kale. That's got the salmon with a really like a creamy spinach sauce and some sun-dried tomatoes, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up. And I'm guessing you could probably do them with like rainbow trout or something like that too, since the meat is somewhat similar.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
All right. So, Jeff, we got to finish up here. I do really want to make sure we get this out there. You send out a weekly email blast. It is literally the highlight of my week, and not necessarily about the recipes. I love reading the recipes, but I absolutely wait to get to read your section on gratitude. If people want to sign up for this email blast, how do they do that?
Yep, you go to wildgameandfish.com. It'll say subscribe. I'll send you, I send out a brand new recipe every Tuesday morning to all the email subscribers. So just sign up on the website. You'll get a brand new wild game or fish recipe every Tuesday morning. And then you'll also be entered to win a knife giveaway that we do every month.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on Gone Outdoors, and we hope you have a great hunting season this year.
Yeah, you too, guys, and good luck salmon fishing.
All right, thank you, and we will be back with more Gone Outdoors after this short break.